This is a special report from True Crime Today and the Hidden Killers podcast.
I'm Tony Brueski, and today we step back into one of the most tangled, disturbing, and endlessly unfolding criminal stories in recent memory. The story of Lori Vallow, the so-called Doomsday Mom. But just when you thought this case couldn't get more complicated, it does. Here's the bombshell. Lori Vallow's trial in Arizona is officially on hold, vacated, because a judge granted her request for a full mental competency evaluation. That's right. With all the lives shattered, the questions unanswered, and justice still waiting on the horizon, this latest twist throws another wrench in an already chaotic legal process. And it begs the question, how much longer can justice be delayed? What makes this even more intriguing is that this isn't the first time Vallow's mental state has been called into question. She's danced between competence and incompetence throughout her legal battles, leveraging evaluations to stall the process, raising deeper questions about belief, accountability, and manipulation. What's really going on in the mind of Lori Vallow? Today, we dig into the latest developments, the complex web of beliefs that drive her, and what these delays mean for the families still waiting for closure. The Lori Vallow case took another dramatic turn on October 21st, 2024, when an Arizona judge granted her motion for a full mental competency evaluation under Rule 11. This decision not only vacated her February 2025 trial date, but also put all legal proceedings on hold, raising fresh concerns about whether justice will ever be served for those impacted by Vallow's alleged actions. At the heart of this latest development lies a familiar legal strategy. Vallow's defense team had filed the motion earlier in October, arguing that their client's mental fitness needed to be assessed before trial could proceed. 2 mental health professionals will now be appointed to examine her, reviewing not just her current state, but also extensive records of her past mental health treatment, medical history, and prior competency rulings. This step creates yet another delay for a case that has dragged on for years across multiple jurisdictions. In Arizona, Vallow faces 2 counts of conspiracy to commit murder. These charges stem from the 2019 death of her 4th husband, Charles Vallow, and an alleged attempt on the life of Brandon Boudreau, her niece's ex-husband. According to prosecutors, Vallow and her brother Alex Cox conspired to kill Charles, citing their belief that he had become possessed by an evil spirit. In a separate incident, Cox allegedly shot at Boudreau as he was driving, narrowly missing him. Charles had reportedly tried to warn authorities about Lori's increasingly erratic behavior before his death, telling police that she believed he was a demon and that she was on a divine mission. But law enforcement did not intervene in time, leaving unanswered questions about how this tragedy might have been prevented. Before being extradited to Arizona in November 2023, Vallow stood trial in Idaho for the murders of her 2 children, J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan, as well as her new husband, Chad Daybell's former wife, Tammy Daybell. The Idaho case, which captivated the nation, resulted in Vallow being sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. But that trial did not come without its own complications. Vallow's competency was challenged multiple times, leading to delays that stalled the legal process. In June 2021, she was committed to the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare for treatment after being found incompetent to stand trial. 10 months later, she was deemed fit to proceed, only for another brief delay in 2022 over renewed concerns about her mental state. The same questions of competency now haunt the Arizona proceedings. While Vallow has already been convicted and sentenced in Idaho, these new charges carry weight not only for the victims involved, but also for the families who continue to seek justice and closure. The decision to vacate Vallow's trial date has sparked debate. Is this just another legal tactic, a calculated move to buy time? Or is there real concern about Vallow's ability to understand the charges against her? The timing of the motion has raised eyebrows, especially since Vallow had not waived her right to a speedy trial, which suggests she was eager to move the process along. Until now. Some legal experts speculate that the defense is using the Rule 11 evaluation to bolster future appeals or challenge the proceedings altogether. Others, however, point to her past mental health evaluations as evidence that Vallow's belief in apocalyptic ideologies could complicate her ability to participate in her own defense. During her Idaho trial, Vallow insisted that no one was murdered, stating that accidents, suicides, and medication side effects were responsible for the deaths. She also told the court that Jesus Christ knew the truth and that she was carrying out a divine mission. These statements reflect a complex blend of religious zealotry and possible mental illness, making it difficult to determine where belief ends and mental instability begins. For the families of Charles Vallow and Brandon Boudreau, the latest delay is devastating. Charles's relatives have been vocal about their frustrations, expressing concern that Lori's legal maneuvers are preventing justice from being served. Brandon, who survived the attempted murder, has also spoken out about the emotional toll this drawn-out process has taken on him and his family. The cancellation of the February 2025 trial means that these families must now wait even longer for answers. Every delay reopens old wounds, forcing them to relive traumatic memories while grappling with the uncertainty of what comes next. Complicating matters further is the involvement of Lori's current husband, Chad Daybell, whose own trial is still pending. Daybell, a self-published author of Doomsday books, allegedly shared Vallow's belief that they were chosen to lead a select group of 144,000 believers at the end of the world. Together, the couple is accused of plotting the murders of multiple individuals they believed were obstacles to their divine mission. Prosecutors have argued that the couple's shared beliefs about dark spirits and demonic possession were key motivators in the murders. These extreme ideologies, combined with their manipulative behavior, make this one of the most disturbing cases in recent history. With Vallow's mental competency evaluation now underway, the Arizona court will have to determine whether she is fit to stand trial. If the experts find her incompetent, she could face indefinite treatment in a mental health facility, further delaying the legal process. If she's found competent, the trial could resume, but not before more valuable time has been lost. This latest twist leaves everyone involved, families, legal teams, and the public, wondering how much longer justice can be delayed. For now, all eyes remain on the Rule 11 Commissioner's Court, where the next steps in this legal saga will unfold. Lori Vallow's legal saga is not just a case of murder, but a disturbing journey into the complex intersections of belief, mental health, and manipulation. Her story has become emblematic of how extreme ideologies can twist reality, and her mental health evaluations highlight the difficulty of separating delusion from genuine psychological disorders. Vallow's beliefs, shared with her husband Chad Daybell, are rooted in apocalyptic theology. They both claimed they were among the chosen 144,000 who would survive the second coming of Christ, and they viewed people in their lives as either light or dark spirits. These extreme views reportedly influenced their decisions, with Vallow believing her children had become obstacles in fulfilling their divine mission. Daybell's writings, filled with prophecies of the end times, only reinforced their shared convictions. Psychologically, this case raises questions about the line between spiritual belief and mental illness. Religious delusions such as believing oneself to be a divine agent or seeing others as possessed by evil are not uncommon in cases of psychosis. However, Vallow's actions seem deliberate and calculated, suggesting a blend of conviction and manipulation. Her ability to repeatedly engage with legal processes, filing motions, interacting with her defense team, and participating in trials complicates the narrative. Is she mentally ill, or is she using these beliefs to escape accountability? Mental health evaluations play a crucial role in determining whether Vallow can be held legally responsible for her actions. The Rule 11 process focuses on two key questions. Does the defendant understand the charges against them, and can they assist in their defense? In Vallow's case, the answer has been anything but straightforward. Evaluators in Idaho found her incompetent to stand trial in 2021, only to reverse that decision months later. Now, Arizona's court must grapple with these same questions again. The broader implications of Vallow's case go beyond her immediate actions. It highlights how individuals with extreme beliefs can manipulate those around them, often with devastating consequences. Chad Daybell's influence on Vallow, fueling her apocalyptic fears and justifying the murders, demonstrates the dangerous power of shared delusions. But it also raises questions about Vallow's agency in the relationship. Was she a willing participant in these crimes, or did Daybell's influence distort her reality? For the families of the victims, these questions may never be fully answered. They continue to face the agony of legal delays, mental health evaluations, and shifting narratives. Yet, for them, the hope remains the same, that one day justice will be served and the truth will finally come to light. When we step back and look at the story of Lori Vallow, it's not just about a woman accused of unthinkable acts. It's about the dangerous intersection of belief and manipulation. Vallow's journey from devoted mother to Doomsday Mom raises disturbing questions. Was she a victim of Chad Daybell's influence, or did she willingly embrace these destructive ideologies to justify her own actions? One thing is clear. Every delay, every mental competency evaluation prolongs the agony for those left behind. Charles Vallow's family, Brandon Boudreau, and the families of JJ, Tylee, and Tammy Daybell are left in limbo, forced to relive their pain while navigating the legal system. Justice, they hoped, would be swift. But justice, it seems, has its own timeline. This case forces us to confront a difficult question. At what point does belief become a dangerous delusion? Vallow's insistence that no one was murdered, that accidents and suicides were to blame, feels like more than denial. It feels like the creation of a story she wants the world to believe. Yet the evidence says otherwise. Behind her talk of light and dark spirits are cold, calculated actions, murder, manipulation, and cover-ups that have taken the lives of those closest to her. Still, the mental health evaluations bring an added layer of complexity. If Vallow truly believes what she says, does that mean she isn't responsible? Or does she simply know how to play the system, using evaluations to stall justice, waiting for the legal storm to pass? These are the kinds of questions that haunt cases like this one, leaving us with the uneasy sense that justice may never feel complete. As we wait for the next chapter in this story to unfold, one thing remains certain. The victims, their families, and the public deserve answers. Answers about what really happened, and most importantly, accountability. Regardless of Lori Vallow's mental state, the impact of her actions cannot be undone. Lives were lost, trust was shattered, and families were destroyed. I'm Tony Brueski. If you want to stay up to date on this case and others we cover, be sure to subscribe, because stories like this, they aren't over until we find the truth.
In a world where the darkest secrets lie just beneath the surface.
They said it was an accident, but the evidence says otherwise.
Where hidden killers roam, unnoticed, in the shadows.
I think you would definitely be looking at a blend of toxic, very bad narcissistic personality traits, and they will be vengeful and possibly resort to violence.
Join Tony Brueski as he uncovers the truth behind the most chilling cases.
They said it was an accident, but the evidence clearly says otherwise.
Each episode, we dig deep into the minds of those who commit the unthinkable.
To your point on narcissism, he thinks in his own mind how witty he is.
Yeah.
But he lost that jury. I was done with him in 2 minutes.
From unsolved mysteries to infamous crimes.
Geez, you've just talked about how you've taught yourself how to do everything under the sun. I bet you did a YouTube video, how to best kill somebody with a knife.
Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski takes you where few dare to go.
How does someone with such a dark secret go unnoticed for so long?
With multiple new episodes every single day.
We're not just telling stories, we're seeking justice.
Listen now on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Hidden Killers with Tony Brueski.